Let's get to politics here at home. In his first major move since becoming Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson is taking the bipartisan goodwill of providing aid for Israel and launching a fight with President Biden over his signature achievement while setting up a collision course with the Senate. House Republicans released the details of their aid package for Israel yesterday. It includes $14.3 billion in emergency funding, but here's the catch. The bill rescinds that same amount of IRS funding from the Inflation Reduction Act. The act is the major climate, health care, and tax law that President Biden signed into law last year. The GOP bill also focuses solely on Israel, despite President Biden's request for aid to both Israel and Ukraine. The measure is set to be considered by the Rules Committee when the House returns tomorrow, and a vote in the full chamber could happen later this week. Speaker Johnson spoke about the bill to Fox News in an interview set to air later this afternoon.
We understand what's at stake here, and I hope that everyone will put politics aside, get that bill over the line. We're going to have pay-fors in it. We're not just going to print money and send it overseas, because the other concern we have that is overriding this is our own strength as a nation, which is tied to our fiscal stability. And that's a big problem that we have as well. We have to keep it in mind as we try to help everyone else.
If the bill passes the Republican-controlled House, the IRS provisions are all but guaranteed to be rejected by the Democratic-led Senate and the White House, setting up a clash over how to approve the aid to Israel and, of course, leaving Ukraine out of the conversation.
Well, of course, leaving Ukraine out. Michael Still, though, I mean, it's
great start.
Remarkable how tone deaf my former party is. They are actually putting billionaires between the protection of Israel and the United States Congress. They are slashing funding for the IRS to go after billionaire tax cheats. Let me say that again. They're taking the money that was passed. They're taking the money and they're gutting the IRS's ability to go after rich billionaire tax cheats. And they think this is the solution. I would say, I've got a solution. Why don't we just have a billionaire tax? Like all the parts of the Trump tax cuts that were giveaways to billionaires and multinational corporations. Why don't we take that money from the multinational corporations that got massive windfalls and did all of those stock buybacks and take all of the billions that billionaires got from the Trump tax cuts? Why don't we take that money and help the Israelis instead of having the Republicans in the House try to help billionaire tax cheats? It's breathtaking, Michael. It's breathtaking.
And, you know, at this point, it is actually beyond breathtaking, because you just realize just the crass political nature of it. You know, all of the soft tones and the new look of the speaker belies the fact that at the end of the day, that they're going to try to do the offset game. Now we're concerned about pay-fors. Now we're concerned about the cost of things. Now we're concerned because, some people in our base are upset that we're sending money overseas, where those weren't concerns before. They spent $8 trillion under Donald Trump. And to your point, go back and look at all of that money and go into that budget that you set up that really allowed for the wealthiest of the country to benefit, to say, okay, we're going to need some of that back. If you're really that concerned, this idea of setting up a fight with the president right as the critical juncture of Israel, Ukraine, and just the general thrust of where the global setting is going, to me, is an unnecessary fight. But this is what it's all about, Joe. This is not about the seriousness of budget policy, the seriousness of economic and fiscal health of the country. It is about, okay, you want money for Israel? Then pay for it out of a program that we disagreed with, but we voted for in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating, Rev. We got this Mike Johnson guy who was part of a Congress that spent more money and drove us deeper into debt over a 4-year period than any Congress in the history of the United States of America. In fact, Mike Johnson and Donald Trump together ran up debt more in 4 years than America did in its first 210 years of existence. That's how serious Mike Johnson was. Oh, we've got to pay for it. We got to pay for it. Did anybody, I'm sorry, I don't follow the news. I don't have to in the job I'm in. But did anybody ever hear Mike Johnson holding up a bill under Donald Trump because it wasn't paid for? And all of the $8 trillion. No, he just opened the door. He said, here.
Because it's
Just drive the trucks through of debt. $1 billion, $2 billion. Mike Johnson's $3 billion, $4 billion, $5 billion, $6 billion, $7 billion, $8 billion. Mike Johnson and Donald Trump gave America in debt, and now suddenly he won't even help Jews protect themselves. It is so gross. And making it even grosser, he says, this is what we're going to do. We'll protect the Jews if you protect the billionaires. We want billionaire tax cheats to get away with stealing more money from the American people. So we'll let you protect the Jews, Joe Biden. But you have to let us protect our donors, our billionaire donors that are tax cheats. I've never truly heard of a dumber plan to start a speakership than to put Jews' life in danger so you can protect billionaire tax cheats. And he knows. This is never going to pass because they're not going to let billionaires continue to cheat on their taxes. He knows this. And yet, that's what he said. We'll let you, Joe Biden, protect the Jews. We'll let Democrats protect the Jews. But you've got to let us Republicans protect billionaire tax cheats. It's just so grotesque.
It is not only politically dumb and grotesque. This is a guy who professes to be this ardent, practicing, moral Christian. So you're saying that we are not going to vote to protect not only Israelis, we are still having 240 people hostage there while we have this debate. And the debate is we're going to take care of our billionaires or we're going to not give the money that you want for Israel. And by the way, democracy, we're not even going to discuss Ukraine. Take that off the table of dealing with fighting to protect democracy in terms of Ukraine and Russia. This is his opening act.
I mean, I didn't even get to Ukraine. He's basically said, let Vladimir Putin have his way.
That's right.
Let Vladimir Putin have his way. And if Hamas wants to have its way with the Jews, well, if we can't protect our billionaires, then let Hamas have their way with the Jews. Let the Ukrainians have their way. Because we know he's lying through his teeth when he talks about, like, we have too big of a debt. Because he didn't care when he and Donald Trump were running up the largest debt in American history.
It's their debt. It's a debt that they created. So now you want to deal with your debt that you and Donald Trump, who is clearly his hero, that you created by saying hostages, don't worry about it. I'm not worried about the safety of Israelis. And I'm not going to even deal with democracy in Ukraine. We've got to protect our billionaires. And you take care of the Israelis and the hostages, and Putin can have his way. This is his opening act as the Speaker of the House.
And this is the new Speaker, Jonathan, saying, look, we're defunding the IRS, just like we chanted and talked about. But he's doing it as a condition of giving support to Israel. We should point out to our viewers, this isn't how this works. Typically, that emergency funding or aid to an ally, you can negotiate the number up and down. That's reasonable and responsible. But to say, hold on a second. You're not getting that unless I get what I want on a pet domestic issue of taking money away from the IRS. It's a new thing for a new speaker.
It truly is. And we're hearing buzzes like pay-fors and offsets. That's not what this is. This is two things. First of all, it's another effort to try to undo the debt ceiling deal that President Biden struck with Kevin McCarthy earlier in the year. It's to try to undo part of the Biden signature legislation from a year ago, which Republicans obviously opposed. It's also politically foolish, to Joe's point, not just on national security issues, which, of course, that is paramount, making endangering Israeli lives and Ukrainian lives, but also even in terms of political gambit. We know the Republicans are supporting Israel. A lot of them have had real questions about Ukraine. Just make them separate. If they had simply said, hey, just vote on Israel, then you put Democrats in a box where are you going to actually oppose Israeli funding because there's not Ukraine attached? They didn't do that. Instead, they connected to this and the IRS defending billionaires. It is a political malpractice. And certainly, it also, White House just gives Democrats an easy way out. They can oppose it, no problem. The White House just throws up their hands and say, this is not okay. We have to go back to the drawing board.
That's what I don't understand, Michael Steele, that they're so stupid that they would actually, again, they would let the hostages just languish. They would let Joe Biden be the champion of Israel even more. Joe Biden wanting to get money to Israel and them blocking it, basically telling Israel and Jews to go to hell unless they get something. Again, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. No, Joe Biden, we're not going to help you help Jews and help Israel unless you let billionaires cheat on their taxes, unless you gut the IRS so much that your billionaire friends, like the Republicans' billionaire friends, can cheat on their taxes. It's such malpractice. They're basically saying to Joe Biden, you side with Israel, we'll side with tax cheats.